Hello, namaste, sasrikal, good evening. Welcome to the S.S.Chandhok talk show. I'm your host and moderator, S.S. Chandhok. La previous month was a month of festivals and enjoyment, meeting family and friends. And during that month, we were away from our friends, and today again we are back with our friends from the different parts of the country. Without taking any time, I'll introduce you to the very first standard guest. And of course, the topic which we are going to talk about today is again technology. We know that the only positive attribute of technology, pandemic was that technology came before it had to come, maybe 5 to 10 years before. Now it is not going to stop and it is going to move. And education system has been, it had been a boom for the education system because if technology would have been there, the 2 year studies would have not been done. We know it very well. So to discuss about technology, how it's going to be the present and future of technology, we're going to discuss it today. The very first eminent guest present to here to is Ms. Amrita Dhanai ma'am. She is the principal of Sanic Senior Secondary International School, Barabanki. Welcome, Amrita ma'am, once again to the show. It's a pleasure seeing you again. Ma'am, I know about you, but people who will be looking into the show and who are present over here will like to know something about you, ma'am, about your educational journey.
So, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, sir, for giving me again this opportunity to join you in this platform. So, let me tell you about myself. I'm Mrs. Amrita Dhanai, wife of Colonel Vivek Singh Dhanai. So, being the army fraternity, yes, I've roamed almost more than half India and worked in the various army public schools of India. So, during this tenure, I'm having almost 18 years education experience in this TGT as a TGT or TGT math. Right then after that in Leh, I got opportunity to become a principal of Army Public School. Then after that, my journey is totally changed. Then now, up from 6 years onwards, I believe it is 7 years going on. I'm in this principal post, and since my husband's job is like that we have to move here and there. So after working Leh, and in Leh, I want to tell you some interesting facts because that was the first time I think in Indian history, Indian Army history, my husband was in peace, but I was in the field. So, so after that, I joined Jodhpur as a principal, and now I'm Lucknow, the principal of Sainik Senior Secondary Public School. And I joined this just recently, but I'm finding it very fine. Lucknow is my birthplace, so I'm enjoying this place. Thank you, and hoping that it will go on beyond anything. Thank you so much. So I believe sir is paused.
I think we have
There's network.
Yeah,
network issue.
network issue is going on. So kindly, uh, Kimbi, take this stage. I request you, sir, to please introduce yourself. Mr. Harsh Pal Singh
Okay,
Khurana
okay.
ji.
I'm okay. So I think let Sarabjit sir come in because I believe
Yeah, I think
he,
we have to wait for him.
yeah,
We have to wait
yeah.
for him. Yeah.
I'll just call him. She's asking to give him 1 2 minutes. He said, "I'm just joining."
Fine.
I am still in school.
Ma'am,
I am still
dedicated
in
since.
school, ma'am. You know,
Wow, great. Great.
the day was so busy that, I could not, go home. So I thought I should attend from here only. Then I have to prepare 1-2 videos of marketing. My marketing team is asking for. So I have called my daughter also. She will take my photo videos. Because everybody has
Okay.
gone. I am only there.
So, ma'am, with this, have you completed Veergata project in entry and all?
No.
Is it still going on?
No.
Yeah. Nice meeting you all, ma'am. May I know your good name?
Anjula Ratan. I am the principal of Orchids, the International School, Thane,
Okay,
Mumbai.
Thane. Nice.
Yeah.
World is very small, huh? Especially in India, we are just
Yes.
here and there.
I have worked in Chennai also even. This is my
Okay.
4th state.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So I think we all are educationists. We cannot leave this platform like this silent mode.
Till sir comes, we can talk. Why not? We keep on talking daily.
Definitely, I request all of.
Sir is principal of.
Actually, I am the technology expert, and I am a founder of an ed tech company called Tab School. So we provide whole full end-to-end solutions to schools as content, software, hardware, everything is there. So that's what we do. And sir told me that he's having this topic, and he said, why don't you join and give us some insights on
technical
what
knowledge,
is
Like
yeah
my school is also totally, technically abled school. We have Eduate, like, Orchids is being supported by Eduate, and Eduate is the part of K-12 team, and Orchid is one of the venture of K-12 team. It's like that. Our teachers are like, we don't send any homework through WhatsApp. No WhatsApp.
no WhatsApp, right?
Everything in portal only, homework submission, classwork, everything, and daily diary, announcements, circular, everything.
Right.
Yeah. I think every school is having right now. After this COVID period, I think every school has started this thing because we have learned so much with this COVID. Key, we have to be well prepared. We have to well prepared with for this in some type of any type of condition, basically.
I think sir has come, Chandok.
Oh,
Sir has
wow.
come. Yes, yes.
May I come in, ma'am?
Sir, please,
Yes.
sir.
I'm so sorry I got disconnected due to internet problem. Frankly speaking, to be truth, I forgot to recharge the plan, and all of a sudden, Geo people, they are very accurate. They won't give you 60 seconds even, and they'll take it away, and they bring it back in 5 seconds.
Oh,
That is also
great.
their quality.
That is also good thing, yeah.
That is also a good thing. Again, technology.
Yeah, again technology,
Okay, we'll come back to again. I think recording is going on, sir.
Yeah.
We can restart, sir. We can restart.
Yeah, please.
The next eminent guest present over here is Mr. Pushpen Rana, sir. He is the principal of Mata Jaswant Kaur Memorial School, Badal, Punjab. Welcome, Pushpen, sir, to the show. And we had been connected earlier also. And I think this is your first assignment to join as a principal. And you had been a commerce teacher, economics, if I'm not wrong, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's look wonderful when people like you who have great experience and who have done a lot of things in their, as a teacher and as a administrator. It's wonderful calling people like you. So welcome, sir. Please let us know about yourself, sir. Pushpen, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. So about my educational journey, by now I think myself for 25 years I am an educator learner, and now for last 10 years almost I am administrator learner also. So throughout this period I am always a learner, and different assignments during this time I have done. I joined as an educator in 1997 as PG Economics, and different states, Haryana, Punjab, UP, Rajasthan, Delhi. So different states in different schools, I have done my assignments. Along with that, I am associated with CBSE as master trainer in economics and assessment. Other than this, I am associated with NCERT as subject matter expert on SWIM platform for their MOOC programs. And for last 5 years, I have conducted several workshops for teachers and principals in different regions of the country.
Very good.
And during this time, the things have changed a lot. Prior to pandemic and post-pandemic, the things have changed a lot. Prior to pandemic, most of the teachers, they were unknown. They were known to these tools, but they were not using. But pandemic, that was challenge for teachers. And teacher had shown their metals. Institutions had shown their metals during this pandemic when technology came, and it was said that technology will replace teachers. But these teachers, these institutions, principals, immediately as soon as the lockdown was announced, they were ready with their Zoom. They were ready with their MS Team. They were ready with their interactive whiteboards. So many things we have seen during that. I have observed many things, and I will say that I am always a learner, sir. Thank you.
That's wonderful, sir. Thank you so much and welcome, sir. Then we have Anjula Ratan ma'am. She is a principal of a very famous and prestigious institution, Orchid, the International School that is in Thane. Welcome, ma'am. Anjula ma'am. I think when you came before the show, I mean, the previous show, you were in some other institute, I think, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
I think we have just changed, ma'am.
Yeah,
ma'am, please let us know about yourself, ma'am.
Yeah. I'm working in the capacity of principal at Orchid International School, Thane, and I am having 25 years of experience. I have worked in different states east, west, north, south. So I know, I have a good understanding of students, teachers, how the teaching is going on in all directions. And I believe learning is an enjoyable process, and it can be more enjoyable when we merge technology with the classroom teaching. So I look forward that today's talk will be interesting and we will learn something out of it.
For sure, ma'am. You have been to all the places, north, south, east, west. Culture, eating habits, talking habits, everything had been different, all the places.
Yeah.
But the students had been the same everywhere.
Yeah.
The same students had been everywhere because children are children. They are not concerned with any caste, creed, or culture.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am, once again. And congratulations for the new assignment which you have taken, ma'am. Then we'll come up to Harshpal sir by the time Anju Mehta ma'am joins. We'll talk to an interesting personality, Mr. Harshpal Khurana sir, who is looking very smart today. This color is looking very bright on him. I cannot take away my eyes from that side. Harshpal Khurana sir is a very dynamic person. He is a technology migrant. I call myself as technology migrant. Sir is a technology resident. And these people, they have brought up the technology into the schools. We talk about technology in the schools, but still, even the 5% of the schools, they are not having technologies inside their schools. How it is helping out? Is it useful or not? So many people are coming to visit us, telling about the technologies and all. What is right? What is wrong? How much is good? And how much is above the usage? This is what we are coming to know from Harshpal sir. I met him in one of the show and I requested him when he told me about his concept, the TAP school he has created, that how he are helping the schools with a 360-degree solution or A to Z solution to the schools. So I just requested him to come up to a few shows and let us know about the technology, how it has to be used in the schools. Formally talking, Harshpal sir Khurana sir is EdTech entrepreneur and founder of TAP School, a premium startup that provides all types of solutions to educational institutions and organizations. TAP School solutions are currently implemented all over the country. He loves to interact with educators and other stakeholders of education community to understand their problems and solve the pinpoints using technology. His motto is education first. With his experience, he has actively involved in building products that are easily adopted by educators, students, and parents. Apart from that, he provides consultancy to the schools in successful implementation of technology that yields result. He loves traveling, playing video games, and an avid reader. Thank you so much, Aspal sir, coming up to the show. What I have felt, the problem of teaching in the schools is that the teachers who had studied at their time 10 years, 20 years, 30 years back, the same way they teach in the schools. Why are we today? Also, I was facing a little problem. I had a PTM today because I had some CBSE work tomorrow, so I had kept the PTM today instead of Saturday. And I came to know, understand, again felt the same thing. Okay, teachers are teaching in the same way they have studied long back. That things have changed a lot. So before we are trying to change the kids, no, we have to change the mental level of the teachers first. So change the mental level of the teachers. People like Harshpal sir, they are helping us out. Harshpal sir, please let us know. Although many things we know as of now, technology how it is being used in the schools, but please let us know because we had smart boards first. But now smart boards have taken over by this AI-based technology, where they won't only show the content, they will also give up the feedback of the students also. So please let us know in a gist that how did it came into mind to have this startup, and we'll also talk about how the internet connectivity, everything we'll talk in the further part of the session, how it helps out. But how this concept has been started and what are the usage of it? Over to you, sir.
So the concept was very simple. When you are a person who, at the time when I wanted to start, I had 11 years of experience in building building products for corporate sector, because when you are in a corporate sector, you meet with the organizations, companies who are looking for technology solutions to sort out their problems. And when you meet people in the schools, or when you interact with teachers, principals, and you interact with students, you see the gap between the students of, let's say, tier 3, 4 cities and the students of the metropolitan cities. And then there are challenges faced by the teachers. Like, for example, it's not new to get attention of the student. It's just that after COVID, it is more important to get attention of student. Earlier, it was, okay, fine. If the student is not paying attention, we used to tell things in PTM to, maybe, keep the student or your child more focused. But now everybody, including parents, want the student to engage and get more focused in their studies. So this is one of the reasons I think any edtech company is coming up. Why is edtech so popular and so hot sector right now is because there is a lot of gaps and there are a lot of problems that need to be sorted out. And that is why everybody is coming up with a solution to solve the problem. Now, there are many problems. Every startup is doing their own bit to sort out the problem. Somebody's teaching math innovatively. Somebody's just bringing out the content to teach. Somebody's just, for us, it is like sorting out the problems for the schools on the software end, on the pedagogically end, and on the, as well as the, managing the daily tasks. So we are bringing you the whole bit for the schools. So that is what we do. And at the same time, addressing to the problem. See, technology is useful till it addresses your problems, right? Otherwise, it is just a technology, something that is there. You have implemented it for, let's say, marketing. You might have implemented it to show it to how good your school is. But the only thing is that the technology is useful when it is being implemented as being used by all stakeholders within a school. So that is what we aim at. That is why we have a USP, or you can say we have a special thing that we provide training to what you call schools, teachers, to them to learn the technology as well. So this is just a bit brief or introduction of mine, and then maybe we can talk about what technology is and how it is going to look in future in the next segment, I believe.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, and welcome, sir. We'd like to know more about it in the next part of the session. We have Anju Mehta ma'am here, and everybody knows in Punjab that Anju Mehta, she is a very famous educationist and a master CBSE master trainer. Welcome, ma'am, and thank you so much, ma'am.
Good
Once
evening,
again,
everybody, and I'm absolutely apologies for coming late, but I just came straight, switched on, and I'm sitting right, without wasting a second. And
thank you so
lovely to be a part of it.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am has a wonderful experience of more than 2 decades or maybe 3 decades into the industry at various positions, principals, and she's a master trainer of CBSE, associated with many schools as of now. Ma'am, Anju, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Please tell about something about yourself, ma'am.
I think you said it all. As an educator, we're all educators here, and I think it suffices to say that we are all in a very noble vocation. But yes, as you said, I have had 3 decades in education sector now, and it's been lovely working with some of the most prestigious private and public institutions and day and residential schools. So that was a very, very enriching experience. And I think over the period of years, I've enjoyed teaching. And even though I was on the other side of the desk in the last so many years, yet I feel once a teacher, always a teacher. And that passion can, steer you to incorporate so many new things. Like your topic today, I think it's so relevant. And no matter how much experience we could gain, and every time you meet and interact with people, I think there's so much more to learn. And I think this session in itself would also enable us to learn from one another and gain so much. And as always, sir has been very kind enough to rope in so many, interesting topics to deliberate upon, some very relevant and, something that we can ponder upon and can gain from each other and, put into practice things that can possibly help our stakeholders, the students at large. So lovely to be here, and good evening once all to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am, and welcome, ma'am. It's again technology. As I said earlier, we are technology migrants. So we have to understand all the time. We have to ask from our kids, what is this, what is that? And they say that, Papa, you don't know anything. So thank you so much, ma'am, and welcome, ma'am. We'll come up to the next part of the session, the questions round or suggestion round. I'll come up to Amrita ma'am first. Amrita ma'am, we would like to know that why is there a need of adopting technology with classrooms? Ma'am, you're on mute.
Yes, good question, sir. Actually, students have to know how to use the internet to complete projects and most importantly, into their future jobs. Technology skills will be required. So it is very important to bring this technology in the classroom and also incorporate it into their educational curriculum. Responsible use of technology also starts in the classroom, and it will prepare the students to be responsible digital citizens. There are multiple reasons why teachers should start introducing each tools into their classroom. However, many schools, especially in rural areas, do not have same opportunities. Nowhere is the digital divide more evident than in K-12 education, particularly in the emerging countries where infrastructure and connectivity are still precious resources. So despite the positive trends towards adopting technology in the classroom, the full menu of technology is still not universally available to all students, but still I can say that it is very important to need this adopting of technology within the classroom, and we must have.
Right. Thank you so much, ma'am. A very good and a very precise answer. We will come up to Anjula ma'am. Anjula ma'am, according to you, why should the technology be adopted? Because the old teachers, the staff, they or the principal sometimes they do not want to change. So why do you feel that there is a need of adopting technology with classrooms?
So times have changed. Now we cannot escape from using technology, and we have to cope up with time. Like we say, time and tide waits for none. Likewise, if we say no to technology, we will be nowhere. Our classrooms, like as a principal also, since morning till evening, I'm using technology. If I have to see the attendance of teachers or attendance of students, or whether the teachers are following LP or not, whatever I want to know about my school, technology only helps me. So I believe we cannot like progress, even like, if I have hindrance to adopt any technology, it means somewhere I am stopping my own progress, the progress of my children inside the classroom. Whatever teachers are teaching, we know when there is a audio visual, they are playing some videos, children are being taught in a proper manner, it impacts them a lot, and the learning becomes better, and it is somewhere, it gets imprint inside the mind of a child. So I believe that without technology or without going towards the path of technology, we may not be able to do progress anywhere, whether it is our personal life or whether it is school or the learning of the child. So technology plays a great role.
That's absolutely right, ma'am. We got technology. Nothing can happen now because we have seen in the pandemic time what problems we had to face if technology would haven't been there. Thank you so much, ma'am. We'll come up to Pushpen sir. Pushpen sir, I'll come up to you. We would like to know from you what kind of technology needs to be, integrated pedagogically to make learning process effective for students, according to you.
Well, sir, thank you. So different type of technological tools we can use in our classrooms or outside classrooms, like online learning platforms we can use. Along with that, some blended classrooms we can use. For example, Google Classrooms, MS Team. There are certain collaborative tools like Wikis, Google Docs that can be used for effective learning. Other than that, PBL, project-based learning through technology, that can be used for effective learning. And game-based learning and assessment, that is very effective in learning of the students if we use some technological games there. Along with that, after pandemic, we have seen during pandemic what we teachers and parents have done. We have given mobile in the hands of the students, and they have become habitual of mobiles. It is not easy to take back mobile from them, and most of the time they are busy in social media. So we can use these platforms for their learnings: YouTube, Brainly, Kahoot quizzes, Algebra, podcast. We can encourage our students for podcast to make videos, slide shares, and there are certain instructional tools which we can use, like interactive whiteboards. That is very effective tool there for students. Student response system, real-time response system is being used nowadays. Certain apps are being used, and PowerPoint presentations, mind maps. We can encourage students for movie making, writing and editing exercise through technology. So there are several tools which can be used for effective learning in classrooms, sir. That is my take.
That's wonderful, sir. All the modern technology tools you have told, which can be used. Thank you so much, sir. We'll come up to Anju ma'am. Anju ma'am, we will also like to know what kind of technology needs to be implemented.
Sir, I would definitely second what Pushpendra sir said, because I think all these things have been in kind of functionality since the COVID times. And I'm not going to repeat all the things that he's already mentioned, because we all know that we've been doing this. I just need to bring your focus to another perspective to using technology when we say we're using this or that in the classroom scenario. Because we all understand that using technology can definitely advance the learning goals. It goes without saying. We all have been using technology at all levels of teaching and learning, even during the COVID, post-COVID, and I think it's become a little less post-COVID, but it should have been continued with the same zest and fervor, I assume, that we started off in COVID times. And to answer your question, I think one must not only ponder on what technology, but I would like you all to focus on why and when it needs to be looked into. Why do you need the technology, and when do you need the technology that we need to kind of, rope into the classroom scenario? So when somebody says, because I've been to so many places, I keep giving sessions, and I sometimes find it a little laughable when schools the management at schools, they say, oh, we've spent so much money on this thing. And to me, when using technology, it doesn't merely mean owning a shining new piece of hardware or app, because it has to be something that augments the learning process as a long-term goal. Because if you purchase some kind of a technological intervention and perhaps its proper use is not being made by teachers for whatever the reason might be, maybe because the training wasn't there, maybe it was just to just for the social media hype, maybe it is just to up the ante as far as the race to #1 school is concerned. I mean, there are all kinds. So what I would think is, when you use a technology, it needs to provide support in classroom teaching. Otherwise, there is no sense in using any technology. So when I say that, after 2-3 years of using technological interventions, I think the most important thing is take a feedback from the teachers and ask them whether the kind of technology that they're using, is it kind of serving the purpose for it meant to be? Because they are the ones who are actually, being with the students, they're using this in the classroom in the real scenario. So when deciding on a technological tool, I would say one has to be very discerning whether it can fit into an existing ecosystem, or whether there is, already an existing tool that could get the job done. So it is important we kind of think on that. And one must not forget, when we talk about what technological tool we need to incorporate, the management is spending money. So the returns for the same in terms of learning outcomes have to be very concrete. And what I believe, with all the kind of technological tools in place, and even if somebody wants to try a new one, please run the pilot projects, because that was what we were doing. Run a pilot project to ensure that EdTech tool actually suits your purpose. Because before you actually, spend a lot of money, it needs to be very clear whether it meets the demands of the curriculum that we are trying to impart to the kids, and whether it's supporting the needs of both the teachers and the students. And whenever we are doing all these tools that Sir said, and of course, gamification is a big way. I would say virtual reality is another thing that should be used. I'm all in for that. Blended learning, Sir said. Virtual reality, I would just wish to say one more point, that when we talk about virtual reality, it is something that's very interesting. And though the Google has pulled the plug on their VR apps, we still have some kind of apps that are, useful to run virtual reality. And of course, you need to explore a little. Something that I was reading was Expedition Pro, something that one can possibly think of. And then blended learning, it goes without saying, is an amazing, amazing tool. I think if you really do it in with sincerity, with earnestness, and you know how to go about it, because it's one thing to say you're doing it, another thing to do it in, real context. So if you can do that, then I think it's amazing, because blended learning it's such a flexible, adaptive teaching tool. And you can use this method to teach K-12 classrooms across subjects, and with such varied learning approaches that even the NEP talks about, whether it's independent, independent learning, whether it's a small group learning, whether it's a collaborative learning, and whether it's a classroom teaching, hybrid teaching, online teaching. You can use so much, flexibility in this kind of approach. So definitely blended learning is a big yes. And And we also personally felt that blending learning, blended learning, it kind of coordinates the learning process across subjects. And there is so much that we can give to the students because of this. It's a fun method. It's a good playway method, and it can give teachers enough time to give instructional, whatever instruction they need to give to meet the learning objectives and save a lot of time. So yes, and one more thing, in case somebody doesn't know, I'm not sure, because I just came across, I'd like to share one very good technological tool that is very fun and interesting, and kids would love it, is Moat. So it's a Google extension and for audio comments. So anytime you want to give them an assignment in Google Classroom, give an audio comment, they'd love it, because, writing a comment and giving an audio comment makes a world of a difference. They can play it again and again and tell their parents and show it to the relatives, and it kind of encourages them to do better than what they're doing. So this is one tool that can play in Google Classrooms. It can play in Google Slides, Google Docs. You can even send it in the Gmail, and it's real fun. One click and all that. That's what it's to be. It's to be there. So I'm all for technology, but it has to be used for the purpose that it is meant to be, not to just kind of highlight it in the social media. Thank you very much.
That's wonderful, ma'am. Wonderful. Harshpal sir, whatever I wanted to ask in elaborated way, ma'am has talked about that. So we want to get the justification of this, that what are all these things, and how many things have been added up to the TAP school?
So I would totally agree with Anju ma'am. And to be very honest, it's nice to know that the panel is aware of technology, and I will also back up Pushpendra sir, who's been giving us has knowledge about how to go about technology. He's again very good. He has a good knowledge about it. But again, when we talk about in a broader sense, like ma'am has also said that the practice of using technology should have continued after pandemic. It has to certain extent is there, but not to the level of it was during COVID. So that is one thing. Second thing, which I feel, which has I've been in touch with few teachers, this is the letting their guard down, is that teachers were more innovative during COVID. Now they are back to, same old methods. Let's do it that way, the way we were teaching. So I think I always tell all my customers, principals, schools owners, whoever are there, I always tell them, see, technology is just an enabler. You use adaptive learning models, you use flipped classroom, you use any technology that you're talking about. We have gamified, we have the VR, we have the offline, we have working of offline, we have the audio, we have the gamified version of the content, and we also give the tools to the teachers to create their own gamified version of the content, because sometimes the school is very possessive about what their kind of content they want to create for their students. So we have all that. But at the same time, what happens is that we as a teachers or we as educationists forget to innovate within a classroom. Like ma'am is saying, this is a very good tool extension in Google Classroom or Gmail, which helps students. No doubt, it is interesting. We have to back it up and we have to start using it more. Similarly, if I talk about my platform has a tool where the students can go into virtual reality. The students can go into dictations. They can listen it. They can say things. They can share it on whiteboards right from their hardware. It can be their laptop, or there can be their tablets, or there can be phones. They can share it with the friends. They can do the collaborative learning, they can do adaptive learning. And again, the teachers can map out their results and then create the content or send the content according to what the students' abilities are there. So because we are mapping out their behavior of learning also. So it helps. So we always when we talk about online learning, we generally come up with an idea that, okay, the online learning is about Zoom calls. But actually, in a broader sense, I'm not talking about the panel here. I'm talking about when we talk about the whole India level. We generally see it as an online class, like the one we have here. It's an on video conferencing and being recorded. It's actually beyond that. It is about the tools. It is about the teaching method. Like one of the teaching methods that our schools have been using is the flipped classroom model. It's been very successful, and it's been there since 2008. Nobody looked upon on it in India since pandemic came into. Nobody was looking at that, but it's there. It's there since 2008. It's there. Adaptive learning is there since, I don't know, way before that also. But we have never looked upon it because it was not need. We were rigid enough as an education community, I would say that. But then the pandemic hit. All of a sudden, everybody were pushed into training themselves into with technology. But we have to innovate. Today we are talking about flipped classroom, right? We went on internet and we found out that there's something called flipped classroom. Why not start some innovation within our classroom also? Because a flipped classroom is also a model somebody created and advocated it. And similarly, you can come up with a better model of learning. So that is there. So what I mean to say is, no doubt, I would agree with ma'am that whatever the technologies that any school wants to adopt, they have to know their goal as to what they want to achieve out of it. Either they want the students' academic results to go up, they want the marketing to go up, they want the teachers to be, the burden of the teachers should be taken off from the daily routines. What is the purpose that the school wants from that technology? And then move ahead accordingly. And again, since we have all these things, because we are 360-degree solution provider, it benefits the teachers, it benefits the students. We send the notifications to parents for everything that their kid is doing. The teachers can interact with parents directly. The teachers can interact with students. They can use the entire safe learning ecosystem that is there. Definitely that is there. But at the same time, I personally, whenever I am handling one of the schools, I always tell them, what is your motive? Tell me your motive, and then I'll suggest you what it is that you want to implement, or which will be more convenient for you to use in your school. So that's the bottom line for that.
Wonderful, sir. That means you do the customization that according to the needs of the school, you give them the the things they need, or the items they need.
Yes, that's definitely. Wonderful. Because besides that, if we are not solving any school's problem, then what is the point of having a technology in a school?
Because there are different needs of different schools. So exactly. According to the place, area, locality, everything is different. Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. We'll also like to know some more things in the last part of the sessions. We'll move up to the next round. We'll have next question with Amrita ma'am. Amrita ma'am, we'd like to know what improvement do you see in students academically when you teach using multimedia mediums?
Okay. Sir, according to me, the multimedia approach helps the student to develop high order thinking skill. And it provides easy access and fast delivery of tutorials, course material, tests and quizzes to users. With the help of multimedia, students can learn at home without any personal instructor or teacher. Very good thing. And of course, it improves their problem solving skill also. And with multimedia learning, student can understand the complex concepts more easily by using graphics, animations, and videos alongside a text. This will stimulate attention. Basically, this will stimulate the brain and the students. That is the important thing. This will stimulate brain and students. Retention and attention. Retention and attention will increase to solve the problems quickly when compared to the traditional instruction. Multimedia use increases the academic achievement of the students The use of multimedia, basically, according to me, the use of multimedia affects education positively when designed properly compared to traditional instruction in terms of academic achievement. That's all, sir.
Wonderful, ma'am. Wonderful. Thank you so much, ma'am. We'll come up to Anjula, ma'am. Anjula, ma'am, we will like to know your views because you have also adopted a technology, as you told, that is high tech in your school. So, what improvement do you see after using all this?
Sir, I see overall improvement in children, like whether their music class or dance class or their normal classroom teaching, and they have robotics, they have all aspects of learning somewhere, it surrounds towards technology only. And it's very easy to impact the minds of young children when we use technology. Like in my school, even the child, if child has to see his homework, he has to log into portal. So somewhere child is becoming a user also, in the classroom. He is learning through various media. It's like, digiboard is there, in which we have some specific portal. On the basis of that, teachers are showing them audio visual programs and other thing, and they are able to learn more. And when they are at home, again they log in to the portal. So somewhere, technology is enabled children to become more smarter, and we want the 21st century children to be more smart in terms of whether it is verbal, whether it is scientific inquiry, or all-round development of the child. I can see in my school children while using technology. And we cannot imagine now learning without technology. And we have like tab lab also in school, where the children are totally being allowed to use the tab, and everything comes in the tab only. They can even give their responses of the learning through that tab. So overall, the campus becomes more enabled, more better towards learning when we use technology.
Absolutely right, ma'am, because we are seeing that students, if they have not been able to understand in the school, or they have not paid attention, or they have not come to the school through these technologies, through these, they can learn at their own place, 24/7, at their convenience. Concentration is needed. Whenever you want to do anything, concentration is needed. So what that learning gaps fills up when we use this technology. Because I remember when we used to have, before pandemic, we were having these smart boards, but they were only giving the contents. Now these things, they have lessened down the burden of the teachers also. The assignments will be made, it will be checked, the performance of the students will be told to the teacher that the children are lacking in which particular subject or topic they are lacking. The teachers' burden of making all this in correction is lessened down, and they can pay concentration on the remedial classes or improving the subjects of the teacher. Because teacher says we have 40 minutes class with 40 students. How can we understand that which student is having a problem in which topic, especially when we talk about subjects like mathematics. So here, the AI-based tools will tell where they are lacking and where you have to work more on. But that is very good when we talk about technology.
Like if the child is remaining absent also, that time, child can log in from the portal, and child can see the classwork, homework, daily diary, everything. So parent is able to teach children in a better manner. Now child is not blind, like child is not coming to school and not knowing anything. It's not like that at all. Parents are aware sitting at home also.
Right. Thank you so much, ma'am. We'll come up to Pushpen sir. Pushpen sir, according to you, which concept is better, the manual or traditional method, or teaching through technology?
I think, sir, especially post-pandemic, now when the students are in Z generation and teachers are still in B or C generation, so there is a gap. So first of all, we have to fill the gap. Second thing is, which is better, manual or technology based? I think blended is better. the mix-up of both manual and that technology. Now, if we say only manual is better, no, that cannot be do today, because today our students, they know much better technology than us, and if we keep them away from the technology, we can't. Other than that, if there is a mixture, our teachers, our system, we have to be updated each and every day. And all the apps, everything, whatever we can mix in our teaching, we have to mix. For example, in our schools, now we are having smart classrooms there. So in a smart classroom, it is not like that only technology can be used. Technology that also will be used by the teachers. So there should be a proper judicious use mix of both technology and our manual teaching, and that will make the learning very effective. Sir.
Right, sir. Wonderful, sir. Wonderful. A mixed blend of will be an ultimate one. Thank you so much, sir. We'll come up to Anju ma'am now. Anju ma'am, we would also like to know your views on the saying that should we carry on with the traditional technology, that is the manual teaching, or teaching through technology?
So it goes without saying, sir, that if we are still thinking about traditional technology, we've not learned our lessons quite well. We are addressing Generation Alpha. We are talking to children who are absolutely digitally literate, far more than us any day. So if we go back to traditional method of learning, we are doing grave injustice. But having said that, I'd like to put two things across again. We talk about manual teaching or face-to-face learning. I think it's also very essential because it builds critical relationships. So let's see both the aspects. You can't have emotional quotient of a child built up without a face-to-face or a teacher interaction with the student, and it cannot be replaced by the use of any technological tools, especially in early childhood, I would say. So whenever a child has to learn, because there are some schools, I visited some schools in Gurgaon, they start with their technological interventions pretty young. At the age of 3, everybody has an iPad. They don't have the books. They don't do anything. So they start off very, very young. So I personally feel that when a child has to learn, he has to feel very valued and protected. And that comes when there is a human connect. And the human connect, why? Because the person, the teacher in charge, would be able to recognize the strengths and the challenges of the child at that particular age. So it would be okay if they make mistakes, because when we talk about technological interventions, there's no scope of error here, because either you're right or you're wrong. So when they are making mistakes, and they need to feel that it's okay, it's normal to make errors, to make mistakes, and this is something of a learning process. And this caring interaction can only be provided with that human intervention. Digital resources, I definitely feel, are supposed to be used. Tools have to be used, but they need to be used for the specified purposes that would be hard to accomplish without them. If we don't have anything else that can be, let's say we have two things that can be done better with a human intervention, then definitely we should go ahead with that. But like, for example, even when we talk about videos or gamification or apps, we need to use them to introduce and practice specific skills, because it's all about competencies and building skills, not the rote learning. So when we talk about these games also, it's great when we see children playing in groups or learning through collaboration, because it builds up their problem solving. So I think the teachers also then spend more time, I would say, focused on the learning goals, because some of the things that are a little tedious, a little cumbersome, can easily be made or can be easily explained or kind of taught to the kids through technology. But any edtech that we introduce has to be backed by research, not just because some school did it, so we are taking it up. It has to be backed by thorough research. And it should provide a kind of ways, multiple ways, I believe, that offer opportunities for collaboration. That's what we are talking about. The 4 skills: confidence, collaboration, communication, critical and creative thinking. So if those technological tools are offering opportunities for collaboration between the participants and ensuring that students are engaged in learning by driving explorations and discovery through their own questions, I think it's wonderful. For example, let's say in times to come, we all know that data analysis is going to be, it's not going to be, it's still a very in thing. People are learning about data and analysis is going to be something, whether it's financial analytics or otherwise, it's going to be in thing. So how do we teach children these things? Through technology. So I was again going through something and I came across something called Preschool Data Toolbox app. Again, this is a free downloadable kind of app till now, currently. I don't know about later on, but currently it's free. And it's such a wonderful thing because you can teach children how to kind of simplify and understand the reading of the graphs. Now, this is something that we don't kind of focus too much on. Now, this is also something that has been added in their English papers. When they have this analyzing the paragraphs or analytical paragraphs, they have it in maths, they have it in SST. So, why not use technology to make them understand the finer nuances of how to read a graph or a data? So that would help them, kind of free up valuable time, letting the teacher explain the cumbersome process, use technology and teach them. So then there are certain apps that allow students to experiment with variables like science concepts like force and the surface material, etc. And it's very interesting again because here you can ask the children to add various kind of variables and they can see in virtual reality how the things would change. So it's a very good concept because it kind of clears a lot of cobwebs in children's mind. Because I remember the first time when I saw this augmented reality and VR, and I really wished it was there in our times because the concepts become so much more clearer. Understanding becomes so crystal clear. So definitely at this point of time, I would say these kind of tools help understand better. So each of the examples, I would say, when we use technology intentionally to advance the learning goals and understand concepts, great. But we can't have these resources replace the hands-on exploration and child-driven questions and discoveries that can only and only unfold when you have a very vibrant classroom and you have a very interactive class with the teacher and students. So if we are using technology in isolation, I think without consideration of learning goals, then I think it will not be a very fruitful exercise. It will be an exercise in futility. But when it is used in ways that enhance the non-tech ways, then it can be productively used and specific learning goals can be achieved. So then to just sum it up, I would say we need to balance the manual teaching with the teaching with technology, because after all, let's not forget that technological interventions are meant to enhance instructions and they're not to take over the educational instruction from the teachers. So I'd say let's have a kind of a balance.
Well, we can say it as the excessive use of anything is bad. Absolutely. And same is with the technology also. Technology should be a facilitator just only for the help of the teachers and students.
Absolutely.
It should not take it over. It should not take it over. Thank you so much, Anju ma'am, for your views. We'll come up to Ashpal sir. Ashpal sir, we would like to know if you want to say anything about what the other said. And I would also like to know about the part which is very important, that this technology has come, schools have started adopting. Some schools or many schools are there who don't have budgets. They feel that these things are very expensive. Management doesn't cooperate. Budget wants to give. But we know it very well because when we use these type of technologies, the workload will become very simple, very low, and accuracy will also increase with all these because you are giving it for the office work also. You are giving it for the educational content also. You are also giving ERP for the safety of the students also, like where you have bus trackers and whatever you have, identity card, you have the child is coming inside the schools, they're coming to know. So all around we are giving it, but the management does not want to spend money. So please let us know about the financial part, that how far it is, important or it is useful to adopt this as related to the finance part. Please, sir, over to you.
So first, I would like to address what Anju ma'am, little add to what Anju ma'am was saying, that yes, the technology that we needs to develop certain skills in the students. That is very important. And if we look at the curriculum that we follow in CBSE today also, we see that every subject is definitely developing certain skills in the students. So if we talk about critical thinking, problem solving, analytical skills, so sometimes, when we have an interaction, even among family, or, when we have interaction with students or parents, or these days, they say, why are you teaching trigonometry? We are not going to use it trigonometry in our life. So it's not about trigonometry. It's about increasing and developing certain skills in the child. So it's about, obviously certain students are going to use trigonometry in their life, but then most of them are not, right? So the thing is that teaching any subject is about increasing their aptitude, developing skills in them, whether it's many skills are developed. It's problem solving, it's critical thinking, it's analytical thinking, it's language also, language learning skills, social skills, so many skills are learned. So definitely any technology which is like for us in Tab School, that is very important. So that's why we have the tools which lets the teachers create that content, which in further helps the students to develop these what you call skills. For example, crossword puzzle, something that my dad and I still love to do it, but that crossword puzzle is a very good critical thinking tool. So if we are giving that to a kid in a digital platform, let's say, for example, we have inculcated geography for that. Let's teach student capital of every country, for example, through crossword puzzle. I think they would love it because it's a gamified manner. And second thing is that they will remember because they have solved it themselves. So that is really good. And through that, if the teacher is getting a result, it does wonders. So that is definitely there. Now to coming, second part of the question was that what is the cost of such systems? So technology is getting cheaper by the day, I would say that. And it's not very expensive technology. It is not something that it is going to cost you a bomb. It is a very inexpensive technology. And if you're trying to save redundant work and you're employing somebody for that redundant work, I think technology will sort that out. So that is the convenience that we have through technology as an education community, as an even company owners. We adopt technology to lessen our burden from those very redundant works or repetitive tasks. So basically, we are saving on that. We are saving on somebody whom we have kept unnecessarily to do that task. So yes, that is there. But to say that technology is going to replace teachers, that is not true. Teachers are going to be there because at the end of the day, teachers, the human touch is required. Human touch is required to sort out problems. Students might have doubts. Students might have questions. And most importantly, you can't do a discussion with, technology. Discussion can be done only with teacher, a healthy discussion, because discussion is a very important part, I feel, is, in the education, because you have opinions, you have contradicting opinions, and you teach the child about how to take other person's criticism and opinions. So this is very important. So all is there, but technology is and will be always will be enabler. It is not going to replace anybody, but it is an enabler. It is going to enable. It just become more effective way of teaching, and not just teaching to all the students, in sense that you can effective way of teaching to all kinds of students. By all kinds of, I always tell, I'm just taking more time, is that in India, when we talk about schools, there are 3, 4, 5 kind of schools. One is the total privilege, who have everything, every resource that they have. Then there are other kind of students who are in the tier 3, 4 cities. Then there is rural areas, and then there is people who are below poverty line. So all sorts of there, we have such a huge, audience, and with their own problems. And obviously geographically we are very a diverse country also, so everybody has a very unique problem. So we have to address that. So this is my say to you
Right.
for that.
That's wonderful, because it is also very important, like when we are having schools in interior, like Pushpen sir is having school in Badal. I think Badal is an remote area, if I'm not wrong, sir. But there are big places, big schools in Punjab. But
Yes, sir. It is a village, developed village.
yeah, now the main problem with these type of schools they face is they don't get good teachers. The English level, the teaching level. So these tools, they help these teachers to become more smarter, because you cannot, import the teachers from somewhere. You have to have it from the nearby area, same area or nearby areas, and the level you want to bring. If you're not able to bring these type of technology, they help the schools to, make the teachers more fit, especially with the English teachers. It is a very big problem all over India. PGT and TGT, you are always having a problem. It's not a one city only. It's not a one area. वो पूरे India में problem है ये. So that is a problem. And English is the base of all the subjects. So that is also a problem. So these technologies help the, teachers also. It gives a lot of, peace time to the principal administrators also. And the teachers, they are able to do better, because they are regularly getting guidance from these type of technologies that how to teach. It is not like that if you are implementing these technology, the role of teacher is going out. Instead, it is supporting the teacher to deliver the things in a very better way. Thank you so much, Aspal sir. The wonderful thing you people have created. Earlier, we were not even thinking of that these things come. Gradually, the development which is going on. I was just talking yesterday, when Zomato and Swiggy was not there, we never thought that these concepts can come. Now we have that Swiggy Genie, if all of you are know or not. Swiggy Genie is that my son forgot the key and that had to be sent somewhere. So he said, you don't come, Papa, I'll just send Swiggy Genie. I'll do the Swiggy Genie. Within 10 rupees or 12 rupees, I think, he came and took it and delivered also. So the comfort level of the things which have come into, you never thought when these things came, but this can also happen, that the restaurants will be delivering the food to us and the things to us. Now you can, can send your things from one place to another by paying a small amount. And anything can happen now. Anything can happen now. And a time will come after 5 or 10 years when no physical books will be used, I suppose. But the role of the teachers will still be there, and this technology has to be there. We were just talking in one of the sessions day before yesterday. I was in DU. So I was just talking that one of the students was saying that I got in FITG, in JE, I had 99% or something like that. I had an aim, this and that, and I wanted to go to Germany. They rejected me. Why? Because I was not having the knowledge of AI. So, future, we are teaching the students. Again, the teachers are teaching the way they have studied, they had been taught, and we have to get ready the students for the future. If we want to get ready the students for the future, we have to teach them for that. So this technology has to be implemented, because this technology, whatever we are using right now, is going to bring obsolete when they will come into the industry. So people like Harshpal sir, they'll keep on, upgrading themselves with the technology and helping the students, because youngsters like Harshpal sir and all, they do not want to come into education. But these great people, they have come into education to help the schools. Especially, I have seen that they are so economical that the schools are able to afford them. When the things came new, they were very expensive, very expensive. Even I was also worried that how we'll be able to manage that. But when you came to know about the cost deliver, it was just like an example. If you are hiring one person into an office, instead of that person, you are taking this one. It will do the work of 10 people at least when you're taking these type of technologies. Thank you so much, Harshpal sir.
And
had a
just
wonderful
to
session.
add also, I've just come to know, because this is my team's job, and they tell me that CBSE is really considering opening hybrid learning centers, and it has sent out certain circulars also to certain
Yes.
schools. So you can pretty much understand the kind of seriousness that has been, the CBSE, the head, the government is taking initiative, that hybrid learning and blended learning models should be adopted. Obviously it will take time to reach out till the, you can say, remotest part of the country, because ours is a little slow process, slow moving process, because we have two Indias. One is the urban India, one is the rural India. But definitely they have started the process of opening up hybrid learning centers, so we can obviously see the positive impact, I believe, from there.
Sir, Hashmal sir, you told me one thing more, but there are many places they say that we have a problem of internet connectivity. I think you have some device for that also.
Yes, we launched in August. I still remember we had a few customers that are facing internet issues because they're from remote areas, and they said we want to, because after COVID we have seen this huge demand of educational softwares in the rural areas and in the areas which I had never heard of, frankly speaking. And the problem was the internet, and that's why we started off with innovating the device back in May this year, which is about peer-to-peer internet. Basically, it is every software is loaded into a device. You just keep into your campus, and then you connect your device to connect your tablet or a laptop to that device, or even a smart board to that device, and you can access all the softwares which are installed inside that offline device. It works within the school, school campus. So yes, we have done that as well. It's more new addition to our catalog of products. So this, we have done that. We have since August piloting it out with various schools in the remote areas. So yes, we are, that's what I'm saying. We are always listening to what schools want. Like, I am giving tablets to schools. Now they want browsers also, which is kid-safe browser. I'll come up with a solution, not an issue. You tell us, we'll provide you with everything, but it will take time because for us also to develop certain things like these, it takes time. And I personally feel that I need to be in touch with the, education community. Reason is that everybody wants something and we are there to provide. And for us, there is no better way to come up and to know what you want and what does the education community want in sense of technology, how we can help them out. So that's there.
That's wonderful, sir. Because during the first pandemic, when the online classes started and there was, this way or that way, how to teach. So I had got connected with many of the schools, especially in the remote areas. They said, sir, we want to go up with the online classes and everything, but we have the problem of internet and internet connectivity. We do
and
not
devices,
have
sir, and devices. At that time, there was
and
a problem with devices also. Because during lockdown, I still remember, I think since lockdown, we haven't gone to a holiday, because just more recently, I would say that we were EdTech companies were working, I think, day and night, 24/7. Before that, we were like, okay, normal office timings. But during pandemic, we were working 24/7. And I feel I've given software to somebody in West Bengal, near I think Siliguri, I still remember. And the person said, I have taken your software, that's fine, but how I'm going to teach them, because my students don't have devices. And it was a government school. So he said, how I'm going to teach them this live class and whatever gamified content, everything is very progressive, a person. But devices, and if he said that I tell the students to buy devices, it's the entire country is in lockdown. They can't buy devices also. So there was huge problem at that time. But I think now everything is settled down. The dust has settled down. Everything is available now also. So yeah.
That's wonderful. But now everybody has a device in 2 years. Those who are left with that, they have also bought it now. Now the only problem left was the internet connectivity, which has been removed by people like you. That you are giving that system where if you don't have an internet connectivity, these type of devices will help them to work properly. That's wonderful, sir. Thank you so much. Had a wonderful session with you all. And coming up to the last part of the session, as we have culture of the show, that before parting we have 5 to 10 minutes me time, and you have to sing 2 lines of a song, your favorite song, because Pushpendra sir is an the first time comer, as what you call that, fresher, and Anjula ma'am and Anju ma'am and Amrita ma'am already had come. So, and being a gentleman also, Pushpendra sir, we would like to hear 2 lines from you. Any regional, devotional, filmy, anything, sir. Pushpendra sir.
Yes, sir. Would you please pardon, sir?
सर ऐसी बातें सुनाई नहीं देती हैं सर.
Actually, I was facing some network issue here. I could
Sir,
not
here
listen.
it was actually a sentence where network issue does comes. No problem, sir. I'll repeat, sir. This is the last 10 minutes is always me time in the show, and we are going to start up with you, sir. You have to sing a song. It may be filmy, traditional, or devotional, or any religious song, any language song, anything you want to sing. So only 2 lines. Everybody will sing, sir. Don't worry. Amrita ma'am is taking out the from mobile. She is taking out which song I am going to sing.
I have some time to. I need some time to remember, sir. Till then, other can do.
Sir, what was the first song you sang for your wife, sir? That you can sing, sir.
For my wife.
सर आप ऐसा नहीं कि मैंने वाइफ के लिए आज तक गाना नहीं गाया.
Actually, I am not even bathroom singer, sir. I have to think about that.
Okay, Amrita ma'am, I think you are ready with that.
No, sir, my teacher's message has come, so I was going through.
Ma'am, this is me time. Why are you seeing the teacher's message? I have also closed it down.
Yeah, sir. Okay,
Amrita ma'am, let's yes, start
sir,
with you, ma'am.
I will start, sir. ये मेरा फेवरेट सॉन्ग है सर. बहुत ही अच्छा लगता है मुझे गाना, क्योंकि ये जिंदगी को रिलेट करता है सर, तो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है. तो इट्स कुछ पाकर खोना है, कुछ खोकर पाना है, जीवन का मतलब तो आना और जाना है. 2 पल की जीवन से एक उम्र पुरानी है. जिंदगी और कुछ भी नहीं, हम सबकी कहानी है. Thank you.
Wonderful, ma'am. Wonderful, ma'am. You're an awesome singer, ma'am. And that song was, it's a very beautiful song. You have goosebumps when you listen to that. A beautiful voice you have, ma'am. You are going to the finals, ma'am. We are having an Indian Idol, 16, 18, or 20 season, and we'll have the educationists over there. You are going to the finals, ma'am, for sure.
Sir, crossing my fingers, sir. Hope so.
Sure, ma'am. Pushpendra sir, I hope.
Yes, sir. Now.
Sir.
Okay. जिंदगी की न टूटे लड़ी, प्यार कर ले, हो प्यार कर ले घड़ी दो घड़ी. जिंदगी की न टूटे लड़ी, प्यार कर ले घड़ी दो घड़ी.
Wonderful, sir. Well tried, sir. You should get used to it now, sir, when you will be coming again. Thank you so much, sir. Anjula, ma'am.
Yes, sir. I'm also trying, although I don't sing much. At present, this song is coming in my mind. इतनी सी हंसी, इतनी सी खुशी, इतना सर तो केड़ा चांद का, ख्वाबों के तिनकों से चल बनाए आसियां. इतनी सी हंसी, इतनी सी खुशी, इतना सर तो केड़ा चांद का, ख्वाबों के तिनकों से चल बनाए आसियां. Thank you.
Wonderful, ma'am. Anju, ma'am. Your turn, ma'am.
No, I don't sing. So what I do is,
ma'am, you are the showstopper. I have come to the end.
So what I'm actually going to do that. So what I'm going to do is, since the topic was technology, and I would like to just end it on 4-5 lines on technology. So it's not a song, but it's something that maybe you would like. I mean, I don't know whether you like, but I'm just going to say it anyway. So this is how it says, since the topic happens to be technology. Every single day I'm using technology. Take a look around and tell me, what do you see? Technology, technology, check it out. So I'm going to cut it, eat a few lines, and then just say a few lines in the middle. I can travel to another place, you see, give me a headset, virtual reality. In my video games, it's so real to me, got me dodging and ducking in 3D. I'm using apps on apps that help me as I live. Algorithms and a quote tells apps what to give. Step-by-step directions. That's what coding is. You can do it in different languages. Talking about C++ or maybe Python, give me JavaScript. Ruby, we can have a hackathon. But don't forget to take your eyes away from the screens. Have a conversation every day, face to face. That's something technology just can't replace. Let's get it now. Thank you.
Good, ma'am. Wonderful.
I'm very bad with the song, sir. This is the last dreaded portion. The dreaded portion that I have.
Ma'am, this is the most beautiful part of the session. Everybody likes that. And after session, you will like it more.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you.
Harshpal, sir.
Sir, I couldn't agree with Anjuman more that it's the most dreaded part of the show, because you just put everybody on spotlight and say गाना गाओ. ये नहीं होता सर. आज पहले आप गाना गाओगे. मैंने अभी तक नहीं सुना आपके मुंह से गाना.
पहले सुना हुआ आपने.
Yes sir, I second to
you. ये बात ठीक है. आज तो आपसे सुनते हैं.
बात सर करिए. आखिरी में मैं गाना गाते हुए भाग जाऊंगा. Don't worry. शुक्र है स्क्रीन में कोई मार नहीं पाएगा मुझे. हर्षपाल सर. After you.
Sir, I'm really bad at lyrics, and I have told
sir, you are the expert of experts. You are today's expert, sir.
You've got a lovely voice. You've got a good, bass. You can sing. Don't worry.
I have one favorite song, and I can sing about 2 lines or probably 1 line out of it. And it's called आने वाला पल जाने वाला है, आने वाला पल जाने वाला है, हो सके तो इसमें जिंदगी बिता दो, पल ये जो जाने वाला है.
Very good. Very good.
Excellent, excellent.
So you should sing a little more.
I'm really bad at lyrics. I know I'm not good at lyrics.
Good.
Okay, ma'am.
So we are waiting for you to have the last.
Okay.
Really waiting.
1 or 2 songs I always remember. I have sing 2 lines of that only. चलते चलते मेरे गीत याद रखना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना, रोते हंसते यूं ही तुम गुनगुनाते रहना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना. Thank you so much. कभी अलविदा ना कहना, and we're going to meet very soon again in another season, another session. And of course, I'll share the contact details with each other. You people also should get contact with each other, because this show is of the principals, by the principals, and for the principals. And hope to connect with you soon. I hope you liked it. Thank you so much. Good night.
Thank you very
so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Good night.
Thank you, sir.